Hey, Colin. How'd you feel out there today?
I mean, I hit it good enough to play well and putted like a blind man, honestly. It's just, uncomfortable feeling, shoving everything and not being able to square up the face. And it's tough, on greens you got a lot of growing in. You have to just be confident with your stroke, and there was just no confidence today, after seeing a couple missed.
I know you've been tinkering with the putter a little bit. Anything that you're seeing that's just kind of that you're looking for that you're trying to find with it? Or
I've been so focused on hitting my irons better that I haven't put enough, honestly, time into putting. It hasn't, the last couple weeks haven't been great, but they haven't felt as bad. Today was just, nothing starting on line, and that's tough when your speed's a little bit off, not starting on line. You're just essentially wishing, and not ideal, for a course like this where you got to take it low.
is there anything in your green reading process? Do you work with your caddy? Does he come in for reads, or is that kind of? I know.
Yeah. I mean, I got a buddy this week. I mean, he plays, but for the most part, it's not the green reading that's the issue. It's more the actual stroke, and before it might have been both, and now it's like I feel like I'm reading them fine. It's just whether I can actually start it and have it with decent speed.
Any consideration to changing grips or trying anything else there?
Yeah, very, very highly likely for tomorrow. We'll see what pops up.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, couldn't honestly see it. It was a perfect number. We knew like just a decent 3 would cover that front bunker, and that's all we were trying to do. And it was weird because the crowd didn't clap, but they went like, ooh, and it was a long wait after the actual shot. So it was probably my closest way to make a 2. I've never made a 2 on a par 5, so sucks, but I'll take 3 any day there.
What's the mindset coming into a course like this, knowing that it has to be pedal to the metal from the first hole?
Yeah, it's patience, but also just giving yourself chances. If you do put yourself out of position, being able to just give yourself 20, 30 feet and just minimize the mistakes. And, like today, didn't do that. And that's, going to cost me a few strokes, but still a few more days left and, take it from there. Yeah, it's when I step foot on the tee, you just go out and try and play golf. And I know the numbers don't show it, but the way I'm hitting it with my irons, I'm not just playing as freely as I do. And that just takes up so much of my mental energy throughout the round that, yes, I'm hitting good shots that they're close, but it's not my golf. It's not Collin golf. And that's the most frustrating thing is at a point you have to go out and play golf, but there's also a point where I know that it's not as easy to play that way. So it's a juggle, and there's a lot of things. But look, the caddy stuff and the other stuff going around, it is what it is. I stand by with what I do, and like I said, when I'm on 1 tee or 10 tee or whatever, it's like, how do I make the lowest score possible?
A lot of players aren't willing to be so forthright and especially in public and to stand up for themselves and try to. The tour could probably use more of that, honesty, and just natural personality. Why was it important for you yesterday and publicly?
Yeah.
Stand up for yourself.
Well, because I think everyone should, and that's a trait that you should learn how to do. At a point, you can only follow so much, and you have to stand up for yourself. Look, this has happened twice between me and Alan. Like it hasn't happened between anyone else. Like a lot of other reporters, media, I respect everyone. This whole idea that I don't do it. I mean, I've looked up how many times I've finished second. It's not once, and I think for me I think I have to stand up for myself because I'm not going to let someone just throw little jabs at me and just make me into someone I'm not. Because I know who I am, and that's all that matters. I know my people, my team, my family know who I am, but this whole perception out there right now is just, it's a little ridiculous. And granted, we've seen a few players do it as well, but that's not who I am. Like, I am here for you guys, but it's just, did it one time, and so be it.
Back to golf. When it comes to your ability to tinker with things, do you think that this course and this event this time of year makes it easier to be able to make those in-series adjustments compared to others?
Yes and no. It's hard because if I try and tinker a little too much, and you're just a little bit off, and I keep having 20, 25, 30 feet, it's a course you're going to get lapped. So there's a balance to that as well. But for me, putting, I don't think it could be any worse as of today. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll figure that out, and we'll be just fine.
And as you've gone through this season specifically, how much coming into this event do you try and look back at your experience, your past, or are you more focused on your short-term strengths right now?
There's a lot of good memories here from 2 years ago, and there's a lot of good shots and kind of placements on what to do, and I'm going to definitely use that, especially if the putting's not feeling good or the hitting's not feeling as good. It's like you're going to bounce off those things, and but like I said, everyone started at even today. A lot of low scores out there, and they're going to continue to do that, and how do we keep going?
Thank you, Collin.
What was it like having your buddy on the bag, who I believe
Yeah.
just played in this tournament?
Yeah. He played, I think, 3 years ago. It's a lot of fun. It's a good mental break. I mean, look, I had 3 putts in 4 holes or 5 holes, whatever. Not fun. Not fun at all. And maybe a week ago or a month ago, I wouldn't have made birdie, and I wouldn't have, finished at even on that front 9. But it's just fun. It's just that's what I'm trying to do. Different mindset, but same goal for the end of the week.
What are you looking for with your next caddy or next full-time caddy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, it's a relationship. It's like asking, if you weren't married or if you are married, right? Okay, well, it's like asking a 20-year-old or a 15-year-old, what does your future wife look like, right? There's a lot of things that you could say, but just because you say it doesn't mean that's what it actually comes together. It's a partnership. We both give and we both take, and for me, it's just being able to be comfortable out there, trusting them, and just having a good time. And like I said, it's hard, because everyone's very different. You spend so much time with them that you learn the ins and outs of someone.
Is your 2 changes in caddy this year, is that another sign of betting on yourself, believing in yourself? And
Yeah, I mean, it's taking accountability. At the time I split with JJ, it's hasn't been great, but it's just me taking accountability of playing golf. At the end of the day, I have to execute the shots no matter who's on the bag, and I fully know that. But it's how do I get very comfortable, free, creative out there playing that golf. And like I said, when the irons aren't doing what I want, it's hard to explain that when you look at the numbers and they look fine. But just being able to hit the shots, that takes over a lot of stress for everything else. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.